Welcome, everyone, to another exciting night of Friday Night Football Under the Lights, brought to you live by the Varsity Sports Show. Tonight's showdown is between the Aztecs of Corona del Sol, who are coming off of a loss against Pointe Catholic in Tucson last Friday, and the pride of Mountain Pointe High School, who should be well rested following a bye week. Mountain Pointe is 4-2, and Corona is 2-4. But don't let the records fool you. Corona is actually the favorite in this match. Corona is number 26 in the state, whereas Mountain Pointe is 39th, according to Max Preps. I'm Jason Goldie, and I'll be calling play-by-play for you tonight. With me is Paul Schultz doing color analysis. Paul, what do you expect to see tonight?
Well, like you said, I think it's interesting that Corona del Sol is favored, but we've talked about it all season long. Their record is not indicative of how good this team is. They've had such tough competition. Actually, both these teams, if you take a look back, lost to Centennial earlier in the season. Mountain Pointe was actually shut out. And so if you were to compare, they lost 35-0. Corona del Sol put up more of a fight, I guess you could say. They lost 55-21. So, I mean, they were able to score. They lost by around the same amount of points. But yeah, talking to Coach Barrow, I think last week we mentioned on the broadcast at South Point, although they lost that game ultimately 29-20, I think that first half was the best, if not one of the best for sure, performances we saw from Corona del Sol. And I mentioned that to Coach Barrow before the game, and he shared that. He agreed with that sort of thought process. So I think it's definitely going to be a really good, evenly matched game and one of the more exciting ones we've seen so far this season.
It's time to get ready for some rivalry football in the 6A Central Division.
I believe I saw on Twitter earlier this week that they call this game the Battle of Knox Road, considering that both these teams are off of Knox Road.
Exactly, just like the battle for Arizona Avenue with Chandler and Hamilton.
And, I was kind of looking back at the stats this week. Not a whole lot changed over the past week for Corona del Sol. They're still led in the receiving game by Raiden Vinesbright. Obviously, Connor Ackerley, the quarterback, has led the way this whole season, although we did last week see some trickery there with Crew Swearingen involved in the pass game a little bit.
Crew Swearingen is the backup quarterback. Not only a wide receiver, but he took over for Connor Ackerley while he was injured for last year's playoffs.
One of the more exciting opening show performances that I've seen so far this year.
Yeah.
The light show and everything.
Yeah, light show, also part of the ASU entrance.
Oh, yeah. We see Corona del Sol out there, too.
Speaking of ASU, what colors are Mountain Pointe wearing?
I don't know, maroon and gold. It looks pretty close to ASU's colors.
Yes, it is.
Camera 2, can you hear me?
Trying to see if we can get a look at the captains out there for Corona del Sol. I know we can see the Mountain Pointe captains out there. That would be for Mountain Pointe. Jalen Coulter, number 34. Number 51, who is Elijah Hernandez, the offensive lineman. Number 6, Christian Clark, who is actually committed to play football at Texas. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about him tonight, or his name will be called a lot more tonight. And Randall Parker as well out there, the running back and linebacker for Mountain Pointe.
As the coin toss wraps up, Mountain Pointe's going to receive. These two teams are in the 6A Central along with Brophy, Desert Vista, and South Point. South Point has beaten Corona del Sol and Desert Vista, giving them 2 region wins, and the rest of the teams have 0 wins. This time, either Mountain Pointe or Corona will get into the win column with 1 win. as I was saying, Sal Point has in the region. Sal Point 2-0, Corona and Desert Vista both 0-1. Desert Vista on one of our other channels. But right now it's time to focus on what's going on here in Ahwatukee.
Well, it looks like
to kick it off is the Brown commit, Malcolm Flynn.
the good news then is Corona del Sol gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah. Yep. And it's time for the Battle of Knox Road. And taken in the end zone for a touchback. And the Mountain Point Pride will take the football.
So as we mentioned, I think we'll see a lot tonight for Mountain Point's offense from Christian Clark. He's averaging 75 yards a game. Also committed to Texas, as we mentioned a little bit ago.
Yep.
And then in the receiving game, Zeke Rodriguez, from what I was able to find, is their leading receiver with 37.3 yards per game average.
He's also their leading returner. As this handoff that was Christian Clark. Paul, can you imagine this guy playing alongside Arch Manning? It's going to happen next year. Here's Clark again. Brought down at the 30. Good for a first down.
I think Coach Sarkisian over there at Texas is going to have fun with this guy next year. Just from the first two plays, I think we're able to tell that.
And the Sooners are going to fear him. Look at this, Christian. He fumbled the ball.
Oh, my goodness.
Actually,
that was close. I don't think it quite went out of bounds. He kind of fell back on it before the Aztecs could get there. I think they're going to say that he kept possession of it, or he was able to regain possession. That was a little makes you want to hold your breath if you're over on the Mountain Point sideline.
I forgot to mention, as the pass is complete to Rodriguez, the starting quarterback for this Mountain Point squad is Robert Knorr, who is responsible for 9 touchdowns, 7 in the air, 2 on the ground.
So it sounds like, or looks like, we're going to have a battle of the dual threat quarterbacks tonight.
Yep. I wouldn't say that. According to my stats here, Robert Knorr isn't even in the top 4 in rushing. We got Christian Clark, Marion Gillespie, Randall Parker, and Zeke Rodriguez. Robert Knorr isn't even on there. Here's a jet sweep. And that is Zeke Rodriguez. This time we're going to have Randall Parker, number 0, in the backfield. Handoff to Parker. Parker has 1 touchdown on the year against Cesar Chavez.
Steady, we're going back to 2. 3, just keep shooting it, but just keep it steady as possible. Go back to 1.
Here's Zeke Rodriguez again. He's listed as an athlete here.
Stay on.
That was a big job, a great job by Corona del Sol number 9, Keen Abril.
3.
Remember, yeah, Keen Abril. Remember what he did last week in Tucson?
Oh, yeah. He's been causing problems all week long for
Yeah.
the opposing team.
Or
all year long, I should say.
I was thinking that body slam tackle.
Oh, yeah.
Straight out of WWE. Here's Randall Parker. And
2.
excellent job there by Kevon Thomas. I don't think that was a fumble. I don't think he stripped him. But anyway, an excellent job by the Aztecs' leading return man.
Yeah, I think overall this is a really big that was a really big sequence for the Aztecs on the last couple of plays because they gave up a lot of long yardage plays, or a couple of them, earlier on in this drive, and to be able to get a stop finally and hold Mountain Pointe to a field goal in this situation is pretty good compared to what they just did.
And they're going to attempt a field goal. This is
Oh!
Francisco Orduño, and that one is blocked.
Nice job.
Orduño scored 3 field goals this year, and
I think Sean Ketia was the one that got a hand on it. They took so long to set up that kick that the defense, the Aztecs defense, were able to get in there and just get all over the ball.
And here comes Corona's midseason MVP. I chose it myself, Connor Ackerley, who you'll hear from at halftime. I interviewed him last week.
We're still on 1.
This is a handoff here. Nick Mustachia.
2.
And when it comes to rushing, these Aztecs, they've split it all year between primarily Ackerley and Mustachia. Ackerley has 172 rushing yards, Nick Mustachia with 129, and third is Quentin Bradley with 55 yards. As Mustachia wrapped up, as the Aztecs are going to try and get on the board.
Yeah, we've seen this approach a lot from the Aztecs. Last week, not as much with Mustachia in the opening drive as they have in weeks prior, but Coach Barrow kind of going back to what they've been trying all season long to see if that works.
Swearingen in motion. Ackerley throws. Zuri Glenn wide open! All the way to the other side of the field.
Zuri Glenn, what an athlete, although there is a flag down.
And the ref mic is coming in through the speakers.
We apologize we don't have it here on the broadcast.
Illegal touching, they say.
I've never heard it phrased that way before.
I've never heard that before. The ref mic is connected to the loudspeaker.
It's just like a college game.
Yep. And an NFL game.
Well, the even more difficult part about that was not only did they get pushed back by that penalty, but they lost the down as well. So now on 4th down, it looks like the offense stays out there. And I think if you're Coach Barrow, based on the play that was made on the last play from scrimmage, they're going to try and do something like that again.
So I'll go to 2.
At least for the minute.
I don't see Malcolm Flynn anywhere.
Wow.
Whoa! Illegal touching got reversed.
So they determined, it sounded like they may have had a discussion about the amount of receivers or something, but the official then came in and said that number 5, Zuri Glenn, was eligible, and so they'll give the first down to the Aztecs at their own 49, almost into opposing territory.
With 2 wide receivers to the left, 3 to the right, Mustachia gets the handoff. Nick Mustachia has scored 2 rushing touchdowns this year. The senior, 5'10", 190 pounds. Snap taken by Ackerley. Quick screen pass. Dominic Ruiz. He got the first down.
I think this is the sequence that I personally think works best for Corona del Sol. When they establish the run game on first down with Mustachia, and then they're able to either, check downfield and throw it to Zuri Glenn or Raiden Vinesbright or one of their speedy and athletic receivers, or they're able to find them on a screen pass route and just get a short first down. Either way, I think that's the best plan of attack.
Mustachia again. Short gain. And this Corona del Sol student section has practically followed the team everywhere this whole season.
Yeah, and especially when you've got a sort of rivalry game and a section game that really is more important than we would have even thought coming in, considering that neither one of these teams has won a game yet in their section.
Yeah.
Why not come out? It's right down the road, not too far, and support your team.
And they're wearing pink for breast cancer awareness. Dominic Ruiz on the jet sweep. Gets away from a tackle.
Oh.
And he's wrapped up by a bunch of Mountain Pointe tacklers.
He was able to get away from the first tackle, kind of held on to his jersey there and got away, but then just ran right into the pile and couldn't get any further.
As we go to third down. Hear the shaking of the bleachers. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Ackerley, Dominic Ruiz, incomplete.
I think Ruiz might have lost the ball in the lights there or something because he just stopped in his route. I don't know if he was quite able to read where that ball was going in one-on-one coverage. And 4th and 5. And I think they're going to go for it again. Or, excuse me, they didn't have to go for it last time with that call overturned, but yeah, they're out here on the field now.
And the Pride jumped off sides there.
Ooh.
And that's a free 5 yards.
Gives them a first down. Yeah, that was really big. Mountain Pointe tried to load the box right before the snap, and the guy that rushed in from linebacker got too close to the line of scrimmage to draw the flag.
Just zoom in on the players.
I don't think Raiden Vinesbright is out there. Their leading receiver.
Yeah, haven't seen him
Yeah,
yet.
Glenn, Ruiz, and Swearingen. And then a number 9. That I don't think that's Keen Abril. That might be Jacob Helt, maybe. Swearingen on the jet sweep. He's going to take it 2 yards.
Yeah, I don't want to make an official statement here, but Raiden Vinesbright, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, has he has a longer haircut, and I think I might see him over there on the sidelines, not in uniform. I'm not totally sure, but I think I see him over there on the far sideline. I'll try to get a better eye at halftime and see what we can find. They continue to stop play here. I don't know if there might be an injury on the sideline, or maybe one of the members of the chain gang was injured on that.
Anyway, we got with 4:03 left in the first quarter. This football game is scoreless. And we're back. Ackerley in the shotgun. Hands off to Mustachia. Mustachia. Gain of about 2. And that makes it 3rd down.
So we see the Aztecs kind of staying more relaxed and taking their time getting the play call, trying to maybe manage the clock and wind it down here as they get towards the red zone.
Bottom of your screen is Cruz Swearingen. Ackerley throws.
Oh!
And that could have been an astonishing catch by Zuri Glenn, but no.
Now, I know we've called this defender a couple times this season, but not as often lately. And sometimes it's the toughest one on the field, the turf monster, I think.
Yep.
Caught Zuri Glenn a little bit there. And yeah, it looked close. He almost was able to tip the ball up and then catch it as it came down, just not quite.
Fun fact, all season the Aztecs have not attempted a field goal. As Ackerley's going to throw, Zuri Glenn inside the 5. Exactly what the Aztecs needed. He's down on the field. Wow.
I'm trying to remember. Last week, I believe they may have had a receiver down on the field as well.
As entering the game is number 82 with only 1 career reception. That coming against Sal Pointe, it's Trey Pebler, a sophomore, 5'10", 140 pounds. And Zuri Glenn is jogging off the field under his own power.
That's really good. I mean, we've seen already a couple times how important he's been in the past game. And so you just hope, first of all, that he's okay, but second, if possible, and if he's not too banged up, that he could come back in at some point.
Get set up for a touchdown right now. Stay with one until someone scores. And if someone scores on this play, we're going to go off.
Here's Connor Ackerley handing off to Mustachia. Mustachia goes in for the Aztec touchdown. And Corona del Sol draws first blood.
Complete team effort on that drive. Zuri Glenn with a couple nice catches to set it up, and then they go back to the run game, and Mustachia is just able to do what he does best and find an open lane for the score.
Two, do me a favor. Yeah, zoom in on the kicker if you can. Wrong one.
Lucali's kick is off the upright.
How many, I don't know if we have that information, but that may have been the first second he's missed all season.
Yeah, I have the info. It's his second. He's now 14 for 16 on the season.
So Mustachia gets his third rushing touchdown of the season.
Pan to the left. Camera 2, pan to the left. Camera 2, can you hear me?
And with those first couple of possessions, that's almost less than 3 minutes now remain in the first quarter.
Pan to the returners if you can. The Mountain Pointe returners. Keep going, camera 2, keep going. Yeah, no.
The kickoff will be muffed, but taken anyway. Getting away from a few tacklers is Zeke Rodriguez, steps out of bounds.
Flag comes in.
Zeke Rodriguez is responsible for 5 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 3 receiving touchdowns, and a kickoff return touchdown. Blocking below the waist on the Pride.
Well, let's see what the Aztecs defense can do here with Mountain Pointe starting on their own 11.
A great tackle there by Ty Abella. 5'10", 215 pounds, the senior. Nor will look to throw. He's got Chase Shoemate. Chase Shoemate with 1 touchdown on the year against Central. 5'11", 170 pounds, and he's a junior.
Good simple throw and catch there. He just came right across the middle, right through the middle of the defense, and found an open spot.
Not much of a run there by Clark. Here is Christian Clark.
Zoom in.
Russell to the ground after a pickup of 3 yards. As it's 3rd down.
Under a minute left in the first quarter.
Yeah. Nor screen pass to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez immediately wrapped up by Elijah McKay. McKay, the senior, 6'1", 185 pounds. The punting units are out. Deep for the Aztecs will be Cambrell Walker.
The official from the very far side rushed in as I think Corona del Sol called a timeout there.
Punter there for the Pride is Francisco Orduño. With exactly 11 seconds to go.
They must have had substitution, some sort of issue with the substitution. Maybe they had too many guys on the field or something, because they could have probably, I think Mountain Point was trying to rush up and get the punt off before the end of the first quarter. But Corona del Sol could have just taken that one and then not had to use a timeout, because it would have been the end of the first quarter.
So here they come again. Francisco Orduño, the punter, Cambrell Walker, the receiver. A high punt. Out of bounds at about the 35.
Wow. So I guess when it went out of bounds, the side judge thought it went out around the 50. So that's where Corona del Sol gets the ball with 3.9 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Back to 1.
Here's Connor Ackerley handing it off, and the play is whistled. That was Quentin Bradley in the backfield. False start on the Aztecs. Hey folks, just reminding you to stay tuned during halftime for special Varsity Sports Show programming with updates on local sports. You'll be hearing interviews from all of our midseason MVPs, including Connor Ackerley. Here's Ackerley trying to run, and that'll go down as a sack. Loss of 3.
That's the last play of the quarter, I believe, as well.
Yep. You heard the horn go off.
And right now, real quick, we'll check in with Coach Barrow. We'll hear the interview we had with him before the game.
Paul Schultz from the Varsity Sports Show, joined by head coach Jake Barrow of Corona del Sol. Coach, first of all, I'm curious, after last week, I thought that first half especially, you guys played really well. What did you take away from that game, or what, I guess, did you take from there that'll help you moving forward, especially going into this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been the same story, right? We just can't beat ourselves. So first half, we did play really well, and we weren't zero penalties through the first half, so we felt really good about it, and then came out in the second half and just consistently beat ourselves, either being penalized or missed assignments. The big thing this week is just got to play smart football all the way around for 4 quarters.
And the team you're playing this week, Mountain Pointe, they got a lot of attention in the offseason for a lot of transfers coming in. They're very well known for their tough defense and very physical all around. What are you expecting to see from them tonight?
Well, yeah, they're going to be tough. They're well coached. We know that about them. Last year was a battle with them all the way throughout. We expect this to be no different. We know they're going to play physical football. We have to be able to match that.
All right, good luck tonight, Coach. Thanks.
As Mountain Pointe begins regional play, which Corona did last week against the Lancers of South Point Catholic.
Get some shots that I have no idea what to do. Okay.
Screen pass. They're saying it's incomplete. I thought he caught it. Bruce Swearingen, the senior.
You get good shots, so I see.
With Quentin Bradley in the backfield.
And just get huddle
In the
shots,
twin formation.
huddle shots, touchdowns, depending on where the punt.
Swearingen in motion. Ackerley takes the snap.
So,
He has to escape the pocket. Throws on the run. And it's caught by Swearingen. No. They rule it incomplete.
That was really close. He must not have been able to get his hands under it when he went to the ground. But Connor Ackerley has been facing a lot of pressure on this drive, and only so many times can you escape the pocket quick enough to then give yourself space to either run it or throw it. They do have the 6-point lead.
Malcolm Flynn to punt, the Brown commit. Out to receive is Zeke Rodriguez.
Number 2 pan to the left.
This is a good punt all the way to the 20. It's headed to the end zone, and it's a touchback. So the Pride will take over. Mountain Pointe takes over at their own 20.
I think this is the first cooler game weather-wise that we've had this season.
Right. Keep one pan up a little bit. Or, yeah, pan up. Thank you.
Here's a big rush. Christian Clark. No, that was Rodriguez. And Rodriguez got the first down. He can do it all. He's listed as an athlete here. A junior, 5'8", 150 pounds. Here's a screen pass. That was Christian Clark that time. As the Pride will look to get on the board for the first time tonight.
Go to 2, 1 pan to the right. Thank you.
Knorr hands it off. Breaking tackles is, I believe, Randall Parker. That's Randall Parker on a big run. Screen pass. Zeke Rodriguez, no gain there.
Nice job by Sean Kedia right at the line of scrimmage to force him to go out of bounds.
In the pocket is Robert Knorr. Knorr throws deep and nearly picked off. Excellent coverage by Kevon Thomas.
He was really timing that one up and almost was able to jump in front of it, but not quite.
Intended receiver was Chase Shoemate. As in the pocket, the junior Robert Knorr. This one is a middle-sized pass for the first down, caught by Shoemate.
We've called his name quite a few times tonight. He's the third ranked receiver on the team coming into the game at 21.5 yards per game.
As that was Christian Clark on the run, dragging people.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to fall down, and he just stayed on his feet, and Sean Kedia had got dragged for about 3 yards.
Here's Randall Parker breaking into the open field and tackled inside the 5 by Brandon Holmes. Brandon Holmes saves a touchdown. It is first and goal from the 4. Official timeout for an injury on the football field.
Okay, we'll take a quick break and return in just a moment.
Hey listeners, it's Vince from the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in this Saturday as we broadcast live from the Arizona State Fair. It's been at the same location since 1905, and this year, the Varsity Sports Show will be there too. We'll also give you a double shot of funny with Ask Lucas and Beachin' with Beal's Southern California Surf Report. Start your weekend off with a smile with the Varsity Sports Show Saturday morning from 8 to 10 on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Hello, friends. Vince Delisio from the Varsity Sports Show. Thanks for allowing us into your lives every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. These are tough times globally. We see it just as you do. We recognize difficulty, and while our jobs as journalists is to report news, we choose positive, uplifting stories that can inspire you, make you think, make you smile. We thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Hey there, I'm Aaron Nemiroff, and I'll be joining the Varsity Sports Show for the fall 2023 semester. Sports has always been my passion, and I'm looking forward to working with the team. Check out my Twitter for a variety of sports content at Aaron2Times.
Kiefer Stadium at Mountain Pointe. We just had an injury timeout. Randall Parker, the injury for the Pride. As now it's first and goal from the Aztec 4-yard line.
Oh, wasn't quite sure what stopped play because they hadn't even started the play clock yet, but one of the officials had to tie his shoes.
Well, we got 9:48 left in the half. Folks, tune into the Varsity Sports Show on the radio every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060 for game recaps, coach interviews, and special sports segments from our contributors all morning long. Check out our Twitter at Varsity Show for more content, as this is a touchdown, Christian Clark.
Well, we knew at some point we'd call
they're saying he's short.
Wow.
They're saying he's short at the 1-yard line. And the sneak by Robert Knorr does go in, but we have a flag. Wow.
Well, I guess you can do that when you're Jalen Hurts, but you can't do that in high school. They got a penalty for assisting the runner.
Yeah, you're not allowed to assist the runner during a sneak in high school. Here's a run. Zeke Rodriguez. No, that was Clark. Christian Clark with a short run. Christian Clark stopped.
Once again, we see the Corona del Sol Aztec sideline and the student section really excited about that. And thanks to the penalty, this is 2 red zone possessions for Mountain Pointe that the Aztecs defense has come up and forced a 4th down, as Mountain Pointe now calls a timeout.
Tell you what, these guys have clearly been doing their homework.
Absolutely.
How to stop Christian Clark.
Well, I mean, when he commits to a D1 school, especially one as big as Texas, you figure he's a guy you got to watch out for, and they've been able to stop him when it matters so far tonight.
Next year will be Texas's first year in the SEC.
Camera 2.
As we return to football with 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in the second quarter. Mountain Pointe will look to tie the game with a touchdown here and take the lead with a PAT. Knorr, handoff to Clark. Clark strolls in for the touchdown. And this game is tied. And they do the thing with the lights again.
Oh, wow. Okay, so their touchdown song is actually a song that is played by the USC marching band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Remember at the Pinnacle game, their fight song was similar to that of Michigan?
Yep.
A lot of these high schools tend to rip off college fight songs.
So the Pride now have a 1-point lead, and Corona del Sol will try to get at least one more score on the board here. They've got just under 8.5 minutes left in the half to do so, and then as a reminder, they do get the ball to start the second half.
Yep. And if I'm Corona del Sol and I score a touchdown, I'm going for 2. As we prepare to kick off again, back deep we have Holmes and Thomas. And that one sails into the end zone for a touchback. Remember at Centennial, Kevon Thomas returned to kickoff 86 yards, but not to the end zone.
I think the best bet for Mountain Point is just to kick it into the end zone and not give him a chance to even return it.
Yeah. But this Aztec team, funny thing, they have not scored a return touchdown. The only thing close was a pick 6 against Marcos Deniza. Ackerley throws, caught by Jai Jones, the outstanding freshman. He's caught 21 passes, 214 yards on the season, 6'1", 180 pounds, but he has yet to score as a high school football player. Handoff to Mustachia. Shrugs off some tacklers.
And he got the
first down.
I think that's just when this offense is at its finest and when it's hardest to stop, is when you can blend the run game and the pass game so well, and you don't have to use Mustachia every play, and you can just give him the ball in maybe short yardage situations on first or second or third down. But
Mustachia again. That's a good run there.
Yeah, it proved me wrong for a gain of 6 or so.
Second down.
And it's good to see Zuri Glenn back out there.
That snap got away from him. And a huge loss. Third down all the way from the 26.
Well, we know Ackerley likes to aim deep and throw it deep when he's got a target open, so that's, I think, what they're going to have to try and do here.
3rd and 15. Ackerley, he can throw deep and he can run.
Oh my
goodness.
Boom.
Down at the 30-yard line.
That's a tough guy right there. I don't know how he can get up that quick. Just hearing a collision from up here, that was loud.
There's a reason I named him midseason MVP. As with 5.5 minutes left in this half, we're going to be punting. Malcolm Flynn to punt, and Zeke Rodriguez back deep. Excellent punt here Brown Bears are going to love Malcolm Flynn.
Got a flag. Malcolm Flynn is one of the most consistent punters I have seen this year. And I know we jokingly said last year that if Brown didn't want him, or last week, that if Brown didn't want him, ASU could certainly use him.
Yep.
They call a holding, I believe, against Mountain Pointe. Pushed back inside their own 20 to start the drive.
Desert Vista is facing Brophy right now. That's a region game. Sal Point is not doing a region game. They're up against Liberty.
That was a nice run by Christian Clark. Who else?
Yep. Another handoff to the future Texas Longhorn. Down to the 30. Good for a first down.
I think he was mad he didn't get a bunch more on that. He thought he might have had a hole.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's really
he might have well had a hole. Clark again. And he's committed to Texas, and the Aztec defense knows it. A little tip, if somebody's got a college football commitment, cover them. That Mountain Point now has a first down. On the reception is Anthony Coleman, who had a pretty good game he had a pretty good game 2 weeks ago against ALA Queen Creek. Anyway, here's Clark. No, Rodriguez. Gain of 3. A pretty good run. First down. Christian Clark again.
There's a flag in the backfield.
I hope Longhorn fans are watching this.
So there's a holding call on that one.
Christian Clark is having himself a game. Texas fans are going to love him. Handoff to Rodriguez. Rodriguez to the 50, to the 40, dragged down. No, he's still up, but he gets forced out of bounds. And that is a first down. Here's a big run. Christian Clark. Another first down.
Well, it took him a little bit to get going, but now Mountain Point is just marching down the field.
Christian Clark is the main reason why the Pride's run game is so dangerous as he escapes a tackle down to the 15.
And on that play, Renner Johnson, the defensive tackle, had him so close to the ground and he was just able to escape right before he fell.
That's exactly what you need in order to get into a Power 5 school. And that, I think that might have been a false start. It is still second down and 4 to go. Ball is going to be placed on the 21. Knorr throws. It's going to be intercepted! Third interception of the year for Brandon Holmes.
And that's a big one.
And that's a touchback. Intended receiver was Anthony Coleman.
And that was a great drive for Mountain Point. They were really starting to get it going with the momentum and trying to extend their lead, and Brandon Holmes just flips the script.
And now the return of Connor Ackerley.
Aztecs down 1, still enough time to get a couple plays, a couple big plays maybe, with 1:35 to go in the half.
Start out the drive with a twin formation. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Ackerley throws. Cruz Swearigan caught at the 35.
They've got 2 timeouts if they need to use them.
Now we have trips to the right. Glenn at the bottom of your screen. Ackerley escaping the sack. Incomplete, underthrown, intended for Quentin Bradley.
That was one of those where it ended up being better off incomplete because Bradley was a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage and running forward might not have even been able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So best case scenario, I think, there.
Jones, Glenn, Ruiz, Swearigan, the receivers. Ruiz in motion. Here's Ackerley. Throws deep. Cruz Swearigan in double coverage. Out of bounds at the 30.
Well, we said Connor Ackerley loves the deep ball.
Yes,
and
he
that
does.
Time he got it.
He has done that a lot this season.
And that forces a timeout from Mountain Point. So 58 seconds to work with, and the Aztecs have put themselves in great field position at the 30 or 30 and a half, I think, yard line.
When you go back to 2, you can wide out here.
First and 10 from the 31 for CDS. They line up in the twin formation. Glenn and Jones on the left, Ruiz and Swearingen on the right. Swearingen in motion. Ackerley takes the snap. He throws. Quentin Bradley couldn't come up with it.
Just threw his hands. Couldn't hold on.
Zoom in if you can. Number 2, zoom in.
With Bradley in the backfield. Ackerley throws for Swearingen. A little bit underthrown.
Yeah, not sure if he was trying to get him to turn inside maybe, but he was in front of the defender and didn't make a cut, and so it could have been trouble on that one. But 3rd and 10. Big decision here, a big play for Connor Ackerley.
Trips on the left. Glenn, Jones, and Ruiz. Out top of your screen is Swearingen. Ackerley throws. Caught by Jones. And I think he got the first down.
It's going to be close.
The clock is ticking. Now it stops.
So Corona del Sol calls timeout. It'll be a 4th and short, and you have to imagine, based on what we've seen all year long, that they haven't attempted a field goal, that they're going to go for it. And it's, I'm not totally sure. I guess I'd say pass it. Normally I would say give it to Nick Mustachia, and I think he has a good shot at getting a first down on such a short field situation. But considering that there's only 32 seconds left, I think you've got to throw it because they only have 1 timeout left.
Back on.
Ackerley, quarterback draw. And he got the first down.
Yeah, I like that play call. A little deceiving. And the Aztecs call another timeout.
We're back playing football with 28 seconds left in the first half. Twins formation. Here's Ackerley escaping the sack, rolling out to the left. And the pass is batted down. Excellent job by the Pride defense.
Yeah, it's just a big time stop. And although, it's only second down, there are only 21 seconds left. So each one of these stops matters even more. And this is the time when you really need a stop if you're Mountain Point. Only up 1 point, and Corona del Sol gets the ball back to start the second half.
Jai Jones in motion. Ackerley throws for the end zone. Dominic Ruiz, incomplete. That would have been his first touchdown of the year.
Instead, he comes up short, and it's 3rd and 10. And it's Ackerley really likes throwing that deep ball. We've already mentioned it a couple times, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes the defense really rises up, and there's not much you can do about that as a receiver.
With Zuri Glenn on the bottom of your screen. Timeout called.
Zuri Glenn was one-on-one, and I wonder if that might have had something to do with their timeout. They just didn't like the way they got their defense set up. So now neither team has any timeouts left, so we'll have to keep the play going for the last 15 seconds of the half. I think one thing that I've observed is this isn't the same team. We've talked about it before. This is not the same Corona del Sol team as they were last year. They overpowered a lot of teams last year, and their schedule wasn't as strong. But each week, this team has gotten grittier and tougher and able to bounce back better than the week before in the last couple games coming out of the break. And I know that they weren't able to pick up the win last week, but the mentality of this team, I just think, is different now.
Now 14 seconds left in the half. Pass complete. Cruz Swearingen out of bounds with exactly 10 seconds to go.
And that's purely great situational awareness by Swearingen there. The route took him to the sideline, and he just stepped out of bounds, stopped the clock, and they've got a first down. So they could have 2 to 3 more plays to play with here, depending on how quick they can get the ball out. We see Quentin Bradley back there in the backfield. I don't think he'll get it.
And the Aztecs are still not attempting a field goal. Ackerley with all day. Pass, Zuri Glenn! And he's in! Touchdown, Aztecs!
Boy, Zuri Glenn, we had to hold our breath earlier because of the injury scare, and he is back and just as good as he has ever been.
And touchdown number 3 on the season.
Jason, you said earlier how they should go for 2, or they might, and I think they thought about it there for a second, because I saw Zuri Glenn and Connor Ackerley kind of run back, and then the coaches said, no, come off, we're going to kick the extra point. I think they were definitely thinking about it.
Holly. Here's Holly. And it's good with 2 seconds left. With 2 seconds left in the half, it's Corona 13, Mountain Point 7.
I ain't gonna lie, that look, when she first told me, I was like,
Now, it'll be interesting here to see what approach Malcolm Flynn takes, if they kick it into the end zone or if they try to plant it just short and try to get it inbounds to run out the clock.
This time Holly is kicking it off. The return, as the horn sounds, looks like 28. Marion Gillespie.
That'll do it for the first half.
Yep. Stick around for Varsity Sports Show halftime programming coming up next.
Game 3 of the NLDS between the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. The D-backs trying to sweep the Dodgers and pull off the upset and get to the National League Championship Series. We start in the bottom of the third. How about Geraldo Perdomo getting the scoring started with a solo home run off Dodgers starter Lance Lynn. Take a look at it again. Perdomo hits it off his knee and goes deep to get them on the board. Ketel Marte, 2 batters later for the D-backs, facing Lance Lynn, and he's going to hit a monstrous solo home run that's way out of there to right field, and the D-backs double up their lead. The dugout loves it, and you can feel the D-backs having all the momentum in the world. But that wouldn't be it for the inning. 2 more batters later, Christian Walker, a line drive home run that also gets out, this time to left field on a 3-1 count, and it is 3-0. 3 homers in the inning for the D-backs. Take a look at it again. Christian Walker, tons of power, hit 33 in the regular season. There's another home run. Next batter, the very next one, Gabriel Moreno, goes to right field and out of here, but hang on a second. At first it was ruled a home run, but Jason Hayward and the Dodgers think it's foul. The umpires would discuss and eventually say it is foul, but guess what? It doesn't matter, because in the same at bat, Gabriel Moreno goes to left field this time, and it's the 4th home run of the inning for the Diamondbacks, which is historic, as they are the first team to hit 4 home runs in a single postseason inning. So we're going to go to the top of the 5th. Brandon Pfaadt strikes out Max Muncy. This would be his final out, a little bit of a short outing, but a phenomenal performance from the D-backs rookie pitcher. He gets a huge ovation as he exits. We're going to go to the top of the 7th now. Still a 4-0 game. Max Muncy once again with 2 outs on a 3-2 count gets an opposite field single. And then Will Smith on the very next pitch goes up the middle. So the Dodgers have a little something brewing against Ryan Thompson. Very next batter, Chris Taylor bloops a single to left. That'll bring Max Muncy home, and the Dodgers get on the board in the 7th to make it 4-1. Then Kike Hernandez, the very next batter, also hits a bloop single to left, scoring Will Smith, and that cuts the deficit in half. So they're going to bring on Andrew Saalfrank, the D-backs are, the rookie left-handed pitcher, to face pinch hitter Austin Barnes. And on the very first pitch, Austin Barnes grounds out, and that is the end of the threat in the top of the 7th. So 6 outs to go. Kevin Ginkel facing Mookie Betts with a runner on in the top of the 8th. He strikes out the former MVP, and then he also strikes out another MVP right after in Freddie Freeman. Huge back-to-back strikeouts, and then JD Martinez would fly out to center to end the threat in inning number 8. So 3 outs left to get. They turn to their closer, Paul Sewald, and Max Muncy would lead off the inning. Paul Sewald strikes out Max Muncy, and there are 2 outs remaining. The next pitch would go to Will Smith, and he had a good night. He hits a single to right field to get the tying run to the plate with 1 out. Then it's Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor hit an RBI single in the 7th, and here he flies out to deep right center. It looked like it could have had a chance, but ultimately it is out number 2. So Paul Sewald, the Diamondbacks closer, has 1 out to get to send the D-backs to the National League Championship Series against Kike Hernandez on a 2-2 count, and Kike lines out, and that would be it. How about the Arizona Diamondbacks who won 84 games in the regular season. They beat the division-winning Milwaukee Brewers, then upset their NL West division rival Dodgers, who won 100 games. They move on to their first National League Championship Series since 2007 and will face the winner of the Phillies and the Braves.
Hello everyone, this is Kyle Cooper. Today we are going to the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks are now the favorite to win the NBA championship. There was a blockbuster trade this week with Damian Lillard going to the Milwaukee Bucks to join Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks odds are now at 4-1 according to US Sportsbooks to win the NBA Finals. To break down the trade, Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, and Kamara are going to the Blazers, as well as the Bucks' 2029 unprotected first-round pick and unprotected swap rights in 2028 and 2030. The Suns land Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. It's important to know for Suns fans that bringing in 4 players to the team while only sending out 2 will require Phoenix to cut 2 players. For the Phoenix Suns, they lose DeAndre Ayton. Now, Ayton did have some drama with the Suns' former coach Monty Williams and the entire organization about his role. Ayton wanted to have more touches down low, more post-ups, and a bigger part in the overall offense. With new head coach Frank Vogel, it would be sure that Ayton's role would even get smaller with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal all on the same team. Now, Ayton still could have played a crucial role for the Suns if he were to still be on the team. Ayton is now on a rebuilding Portland team and will receive that bigger role he really wanted. If you compare Ayton to Nurkic, you can clearly see that Ayton is the better player. Many people thought throughout the years that Ayton would be a great fit for the Suns, and especially with this newer team, as he's young, athletic, and had great potential. But now he's been traded, and looking at his replacement, Nurkic is 29 years old and certainly not as young and athletic as Ayton was. Some Suns fans could see this as a downgrade. It could also be argued that the Suns did not use DeAndre Ayton to his best ability with his mobility, his youth, and now they have Nurkic, who's even less mobile, older, so they will have to figure out how they will play their new big man. For the other players that they acquired, the Suns certainly add more youth and depth to their roster. Nasir Little is a 23-year-old 6'5" wing with a 7'1" wingspan, which would definitely help the Suns off the bench. Last season in Portland, he averaged 6.6 points per game and 2.6 rebounds in 18 minutes per game, and he shot 44.2% from the field. Another player they added is 6'3" Keon Johnson, who is 21 years old. Johnson averaged 4.7 points in 10 minutes per game last year on 37.6% shooting in Portland. Another important player to note in the trade is the Suns received Grayson Allen, and Grayson averaged 10.4 points and 2.3 assists per game for the Milwaukee Bucks last season. He shot 44% overall and 40% from the three-point range. This could be the great fit for the Suns, as they'll have more shooting threats on the perimeter, and Grayson Allen can play defense too. As for the big name in the trade, Damian Lillard, this is a career-changing trade for him. After being on the Portland Trail Blazers for his entire career, he moves to the Milwaukee Bucks, and now they are the favorite in the East. It was clear that Damian Lillard expressed his interest in wanting to be traded to the Miami Heat. So the trade that landed yesterday definitely shocked the entire NBA world. And there's some speculation as to whether Lillard will be happy in Milwaukee with another superstar already being there. But for Lillard, he's now on a team where they certainly have a great shot at the title this year. The 7-time All-Star averaged 32.2 points per game last season, which was a career high for him. And over his career, he's averaged 25.2 points per game, 43.9% from the field, and 4.2 rebounds, along with 6.7 assists a game. Damian Lillard is one of the premier point guards in the league, and with their only competition being Boston in the East, they certainly look like they're going to make it far this season. As for the Suns, they lose DeAndre Ayton, but they also lose the DeAndre Ayton drama We know how big this could be to improve their locker room. Drama can ruin teams in the NBA, so without DeAndre Ayton on the team, maybe they will perform well this season. Putting up points will not be a problem for the Suns, so if they can play defense and win important games, they will go far into the playoffs. Once again, a big trade shakes up the NBA, catches the NBA world off guard, and now for Suns fans, there is plenty to talk about before their first game later in October. For Varsity Sports, I am Kyle Cooper, and enjoy the second half.
Hello, friends. Vince DeLisio from the Varsity Sports Show. Thanks for allowing us into your lives every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. These are tough times globally. We see it just as you do. We recognize difficulty, and while our jobs as journalists is to report news, we choose positive, uplifting stories that can inspire you, make you think, make you smile. We thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Pointe, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hey there, I'm Aaron Nemiroff, and I'll be joining the Varsity Sports Show for the fall 2023 semester. Sports has always been my passion, and I'm looking forward to working with the team. Check out my Twitter for a variety of sports content at Aaron2Times.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hello, Arizona sports fans. I'm Lofton Lechner, and I couldn't be happier to be joining the varsity sports team as a technical director for fall 2023. Follow me on Twitter at Lofton Lechner to stay locked in for the season.
Hi Varsity sports fans, this is Shai Gara. Make sure you stay tuned for our halftime where we break down different highlights from sports locally or otherwise, so plenty of entertainment and content coming your way if you stick around with us. What I personally think is cool about our halftime show is we cover different sports, maybe some you might not expect, and a variety of different content, of course, high school football, and maybe some professional stuff such as NFL highlights from the previous week.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Ryan Sikora. I'm going to be one of the interns this fall at the Varsity Sports Show. So happy to be with you guys this year. I've loved sports for as long as I can remember, and I cannot wait to be with you guys on Thursday, Friday, and even some Saturdays all this year.
My name is Kyle Krikorian, and I'm a sophomore studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am thrilled to join the Varsity Media Foundation as a technical director following Horizon High School football this fall. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Krikorian.
The hottest show covering Arizona high school football, Varsity Live. Do you want to hear from players of the week and our own analysts covering all of varsity sports games? We bring you pre-game previews and post-game recaps every single Friday night, wrapped up all into one show called Varsity Live. Tune in at Varsity Sports Show on YouTube Fridays at 6:30 p.m. MST for pregame and 10 p.m. MST for postgame. I'm your host, Kyle Cooper, and I will see you Friday night.
Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Hi, my name is Eric Perry, and I'm the proud owner of Eco Roofing Solutions. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I'm the current president of the Arizona Roofing Contractors Association. Our mission is to provide the absolute best customer experience, and we operate all over the entire state of Arizona. We will come out and provide a courtesy, no obligation roof inspection to you, as well as an estimate within 24 hours. Our team is dedicated to providing the best quality product and workmanship, and we're here to serve you. You can call us at 480-695-7736 or check us out online at ecoroofaz.com. To learn more about us, you can find me on Instagram at YourBeardedRoofer or at EcoRoofingSolutionsAZ. We are proud supporters of our community's youth and the next generation, and we would love for you to come and join the hashtag EcoFamily today.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
Hey listeners, it's Vince from the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in this Saturday as we broadcast live from the Arizona State Fair. It's been at the same location since 1905, and this year, the Varsity Sports Show will be there too. We'll also give you a double shot of funny with Ask Lucas and Beachin' with Beal's Southern California Surf Report. Start your weekend off with a smile with the Varsity Sports Show Saturday morning from 8 to 10 on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Hello, friends. Vince DeLisio from the Varsity Sports Show. Thanks for allowing us into your lives every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. These are tough times globally. We see it just as you do. We recognize difficulty, and while our jobs as journalists is to report news, we choose positive, uplifting stories that can inspire you, make you think, make you smile. We thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Pointe, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hey there, I'm Aaron Nemiroff, and I'll be joining the Varsity Sports Show for the fall 2023 semester. Sports has always been my passion, and I'm looking forward to working with the team. Check out my Twitter for a variety of sports content at Aaron2Times.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hello, Arizona sports fans. I'm Lofton Lechner, and I couldn't be happier to be joining the varsity sports team as a technical director for fall 2023. Follow me on Twitter at Lofton Lechner to stay locked in for the season.
After halftime and homecoming ceremonies here at Mountain Pointe, Jason Goldie with Paul Schultz as we get ready for another half of football. We found out the homecoming king is Christian Clark, represented by his father because he was still in the locker room.
Christian Clark on and off the field, making his family, his friends, his school proud, and doing everything he can to help out his team tonight on the field. But with Corona del Sol leading at 13-7, the Aztecs have been good but not great. They've certainly had their fair share of mistakes, but they've been able to kind of bounce back in the spots they needed to and overcome some challenges. We have not seen Raiden Vinesbright tonight. Still no official confirmation as to what is going on with him. I'll try to ask Coach Barrow about that after the game just to get that cleared up. But in his absence, Zuri Glenn has done a phenomenal job stepping up. Jai Jones as well with a couple good catches. We've seen Dominic Ruiz as well as Cruz Swearingen getting some touches as well, or some catches. And so the Aztecs have been able to, at the direction of Connor Ackerley, be good enough to be leading this game, but still close as it's within one score. And as a reminder, on that first touchdown, the touchdown by Nick Mastachia, they did not convert on the extra point. So they only lead 13-7 and not 14-7.
But the Pride will look to take the lead with a successful conversion if they do score.
Corona del Sol will get the ball first to start the second half, and looking to maintain the momentum they gained at the end of the first half with their touchdown to regain the lead.
Can you hear me? Turn on your camera. There we go. All right, perfect. Okay, we're on 2.
Well, the Aztecs ready to get this second half underway. Mountain Point still huddling. And now they break the huddle. As we see their quarterback, Robert Knorr, on the sideline. He was just getting some warm-up throws in there to try and stay ready for when he gets brought back out eventually.
To kick off is Francisco Orduño. This will go out of bounds. He couldn't quite get it into the end zone for a touchback. And that'll give Corona some extra yardage for free.
So the 35 is where they'll start. Good field position as they try to build on a 6-point lead as we start the second half.
Mustachia. Gain of about 2. Mustachia again, immediately wrapped up. On the tackle was Caleb Jones, the 300-pound junior who recovered a fumble against Cesar Chavez. Here's Ackerley. He's going to throw. Jai Jones. Great catch. Tackled immediately by Rylan Dillard Allen, who has an interception against ALAQC.
Jai Jones really making his case to be a big part of this offense moving forward, both this year and in the future.
They're just feeding Mustachia here. Here's a screen pass to Jai Jones. No gain. As it's 3rd down now. Ackerley escaping. now at the Mountain Point 49. And a flag after the play.
Most likely going to get him for the late hit out of bounds.
This crowd is not happy. A holding penalty against the Pride, and that is a first down. Ball comes all the way to the 34.
Big break for the Aztecs, and I think they need it. Hopefully this will be a good point to reset.
Mustachia on the run with some space. Flag on the field. Gain of 8. Now the holding is on the Aztecs. First and 20. It'll be first and 20 following the holding call. Ackerley eludes the rush. Screen pass to Mustachia. Gain of about 8.
You talk about yards after the catch. On that one, Mustachia ran right into the defender, and it looked like he was just going to go down on the spot. But I think he pushed him forward for about 2 more yards. He's just so strong that he can kind of push those guys over.
You mentioned Connor Ackerley likes the deep ball. Here's Mustachia immediately wrapped up and stuffed. On the tackle was Jalen Coulter, who had an incredible game 2 weeks ago. Sacked the quarterback 3 times against ALA Queen Creek, and considering they've got probably the best quarterback in the state, Enoch Watson, who is committed to BYU, to sack him 3 times, that's an achievement. Ackerley rolling to the right. Throws Jai Jones. Incomplete. That could have been an amazing interception. But it fell to the ground before anybody could put their hands on it.
I find it interesting that they're going to punt on this one just because they've gone for it many times. I guess 4th and 14, not going to be much of a chance there.
And look at this. The Pride are going to be sending out Rylan Dillard Allen. The junior, 5'11", 170 pounds.
Flag, delay a game.
Still on point.
Malcolm Flynn to punt. And it's going to go out of bounds at the 20. As Mountain Point will look to tie and then take the lead in this game. Handoff. Is to the homecoming king, Christian Clark.
This drive will be a big challenge for the Aztecs defense. Try to see if they can keep Mountain Pointe from regaining the lead in the third quarter.
Here's a handoff, and he breaks into the open field. Christian Clark down to the 40 and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Exactly what the Pride needed out of the Texas commit.
Well, when you get past that last defender, there's not much you can do to stop him.
Except
Luckily,
chase
they
him
could
down.
push him out of bounds before he got to the end zone.
Excellent work by the Corona defense, saving the touchdown. This time, I think that's a 1-yard loss. Clark down to the 20. They're saying he's at the 21.
Well, this red zone defense for the Aztecs has been pretty good throughout most of the game, except for the one touchdown. So let's see if they can hold them.
Third down. What are you going to do? Knorr fakes the handoff. Rolling out to the right, throwing out of bounds. He threw that one away.
Sort of a delayed rush that didn't ever bring any pressure from Corona del Sol, and it actually worked out in their favor because they just kind of pushed the quarterback into the corner, and there wasn't anyone for him to throw to, and he couldn't get upfield. And so yet again, they come up with a stop, as it looks like they will set up for a field goal try.
It'll be Orduño. And this one is good. 4:49 left in the third quarter. Corona leads by a field goal, 13-10. The kickoff will be muffed by Holmes, but it's in the end zone anyway.
And that's okay. That's the spot where you're able to kind of be a little more risky trying to catch the kickoff.
Yeah.
Try to do it over his shoulder.
Yes. If you're going to muff it, then that's the place you muff it. Muffing it outside of the end zone, it could be a recipe for disaster. Ackerley fakes the handoff. And he's sacked.
Well,
they're crediting number 75, Caleb Jones.
Didn't matter if they fooled the defense or not with the handoff, with the fake handoff there. They just got there too quick, and Ackerley couldn't go anywhere with the ball.
Ackerley throws, caught by Ruiz. He gets the first down.
That is a big pickup there. Keep the drive alive. Under 4 minutes left in the third.
Here's Dom Ruiz again. Out of bounds.
Nice stiff arm there against Demetrius Johnson to gain a couple more yards before he was eventually forced out of bounds, instead of being tackled on the spot.
Pass complete and bobbled and picked off. It's Javier Jones, the two-way player with 2 receiving touchdowns on the year. Senior, 6 feet, 170 pounds.
Yeah, Ackerley thought he had Missouri Glenn there, and he did, but Glenn just unable to hold on to it, and a lot of really good defensive pressure forced the interception. Kind of a unclear situation whether it was a fumble or just a direct interception, but nonetheless, the Pride have the ball once again.
And out comes Caleb Jones again.
We see
a lot
another
of two-way players.
Yes, I was just about to say. A lot of them.
Meanwhile, Corona doesn't really have as many.
We've seen
Jai Jones.
Yeah. Brandon Holmes and Kevon Thomas we see on the special teams unit as well as mostly on the defensive side. But other than that, not a whole lot.
Zuri Glenn's also listed as a defensive end, but we haven't seen, I don't think we've seen him on defense. Here's Christian Clark to the 35. Two and a half minutes left in this third quarter. Clark with the handoff. Clark. Gain of 6. Gain of 5. Flag on the field.
Oh, wow.
And some extracurricular activity.
They give him another flag.
The line judge threw his hat.
Those might. So one penalty on each side, but the defensive penalty much bigger. Gives the Pride a first down at the 20.
And now we have 2 minutes left in the quarter. In motion and taking the screen is Zeke Rodriguez, who gets the first down. Forced out of bounds by Holmes. Late hit is the penalty call. Now we go to 1st and goal.
Not what Coach Barrow wants to see. They've done a really good job, really since the break, if not before then, of limiting the penalties the Aztecs have on both sides, and not in this drive.
A field goal ties it, but they're going to go on the ground. And that's a touchdown. Christian Clark gives the Pride the lead.
No light show on this touchdown drive.
As Francisco Orduno's kick is good. And with 1 minute and 44 seconds left in this third quarter, Mountain Pointe leads 17-13. A field goal does not tie this game. You got to score a touchdown to take the lead.
Yeah, if you thought the last drive was important for the Aztec, this one is even more, because at the pace this game has been going, if you go up, or if you go down rather, more than one score, there's a chance you might not have enough time left to get 2 scores. Just because both teams have been just using so much of the clock on their possessions.
Orduno to kick it off. Thomas and Holmes are deep. Holmes takes it in the end zone for a touchback. The Aztecs will take over at the 20. Nick Mestaccia in the backfield with Ackerley. 3 wideouts on the on the left side. Ackerley takes it himself, but Aaron Thomas says not today.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a designed run or he was definitely looking at the receivers at first, maybe to deceive the defense, but the line just didn't move and was able to get in there and sack Ackerley, or tackle Ackerley, bring him to the ground, excuse me.
Ackerley's throw is picked off! And it's a pick six for Mountain Pointe. It's Ryland Dillard Allen. His second interception of the year, and this one goes for a touchdown. Ryland Dillard Allen, 5'11", 170 pounds, a junior. As Mountain Pointe will look to make it an 11-point game, and they do. Now, if you're the Aztecs, you need more than just one touchdown. You need two.
Yep, and you got to get them quick. We just discussed this, where the time of possession has been really long for both teams, where each drive has taken quite a while. So you've got to score quick.
You still got a whole quarter
You do.
to do it.
But the defense has got to get a stop on their next opportunity as well.
As the Aztecs will prepare to take the ball and hopefully score.
Somebody left money. Somebody leave money? It's not me. It's Austin. You got something?
Touchback.
All right, Ackerley's got to have just a blank slate here. You know, relax, go through your reads, find your receivers. Haven't seen a lot from Swearingen in the second half.
But he's on the very bottom of your screen in the trips formation. Ackerley's throw is to Jai Jones. Gain of 9.
That was a great play call. All three receivers were covered but open, and Jai Jones there had the most space. Nice quick pass. Set up 2nd and 1.
Bradley to the 30. Down at the 40.
That's the first big carry he's had tonight, and couldn't be at a better time than now, just nearing the end of the third quarter.
Ackerley throws short. Bradley. Quentin Bradley still pushing. And they'll mark him at about the 45.
Yeah, that's just a great job fighting to stay on his feet. And that is the last play that we'll have in the third quarter. And with that, we'll take a quick break and come back for the fourth quarter in just a moment.
Hi Varsity sports fans, this is Shai Gara. Make sure you stay tuned for our halftime where we break down different highlights from sports locally or otherwise. So plenty of entertainment and content coming your way if you stick around with us. What I personally think is cool about our halftime show is we cover different sports, maybe some you might not expect, and a variety of different content, of course, high school football, and maybe some professional stuff such as NFL highlights from the previous week.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
Well, we flipped sides of the field. Bruce Swearingen on the jet sweep. He looks to throw! And it's incomplete! He's thrown 2 touchdowns this year, including on that trick play. Raiden Vines Bright caught it. He was wide open that time. That was last week. Raiden Vines Bright caught that and ran it into the end zone. That time, not so lucky. And Swearingen
might have still been in his head about that last one.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, 4th and 3. One of the biggest plays of the game right here. If you give it up inside your own territory, it puts Mountain Pointe in a really good spot.
Quentin Bradley.
Yeah, the Mountain Pointe defense really excited, and the fans giving him a lot of applause and cheers for good reason. They have really stepped up in this second half and silenced the Aztec offense a lot more than in the first half.
Here come the Pride. With Robert Knorr at the helm. Here's a handoff. Christian Clark. Gain of about 5. Gain of 5 on the play. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Here's Clark. He got the first down that time. As the Pride will look to extend their lead. And looks like a false start there. Hey everybody, tune in before and after game time every week to the Varsity Live Show for pre and post game highlights and interviews. Go to our Twitter at Varsity Show for the link to the Varsity Live Show.
One, hand to the right.
Here's Clark again. Getting pushed. but Corona had the stronger push. Anyway, it's a second down. Gain of 3. Clark in motion. Screen pass to him. No, that's Rodriguez. Rodriguez down to the 20.
Well, the other thing is when you have the comfort of a 2-score lead, you can really milk the clock and take your time coming up to the line.
And that's exactly what they are doing right now. Rodriguez on the handoff. No, that's Clark. Clark! Tackled by Cambrell Walker. Great job by Walker. Clark couldn't quite get the first down. Great job by the Aztec defense. As I've said many times before, they have done their homework over the last week. They know how good Christian Clark is. So they're immediately putting their eyes on him. And a rush first down. Looks like Clark handoff. Clark, he's going to go in for a touchdown.
Well,
and we have
some sort of flag. I don't know if they'll talk about it. But Clark just continues to add good tape to the resume.
I think that looks like, I think that might have been Zeke Rodriguez. Yeah, that is Zeke Rodriguez, not Christian Clark.
Well, that's a good problem to have for Mountain Point. I mean, aside from their numbers being so close together, the fact that they have two guys that are that good, that they both can go back and forth and score and make big plays, it's a big advantage for this team.
And the kick nearly blocked, but it's good anyway.
On a flag.
Yep, roughing the kicker. That's my guess. (31-13) is the score. The Aztecs need to score. I think they can make a comeback. It is going to take a lot of points to put the Aztecs back into the lead, but it is possible. Stranger things have happened.
Yep. It's just going to have to come down to them being efficient on offense, working fast. They love the deep ball, and it's just going to have to work for them.
Brandon Holmes to take it. Holmes to the 20, to the 30. Escapes a tackler. Into Pride territory. And out of bounds.
Well, you said it was going to take. We just talked about it. They're going to have to work quick, and there isn't much you can do more than a great return from Brandon Holmes right there.
And we know Connor Ackerley likes to go for it all. Ackerley rolling. He'll take it himself. Small gain. It looked like 2 yards. It's 2 yards.
I think if I was the Aztecs, I'd really want to be playing here with a sense of urgency considering the situation.
Flag. Ackerley. He'll look to throw it. And he gets sacked. Looked like Demetrius Johnson on that one.
Yeah, the Aztecs in the 3rd and long here. They're going to have to go deep in the air and, might even have to go for it all here.
Well, and another sack. That time it was Jalen Coulter.
Yeah, the offense stays out there for a 4th and 19. Usually you wouldn't see that, but with the score as it sits and the time winding down, got to try it.
Ackerley throws. Glenn at the 35. And he loses the ball. I think he might have been down before he fumbled the ball.
Yeah, well, it's a difference of about 8 yards or so, depending on whether he was down or not, because with that 4th down, they'll either get it at the 35 where he fell to, or where he was stopped originally, or a little bit
And
closer for Mountain Point.
They say it's a fumble. And now if you're Mountain Point, you just run the ball, keep running the ball until you can take a knee. As here's Christian Clark.
Boy, I will say the fact that Mountain Point was the underdog in this one, they, I think, took that to heart. This team has had the spotlight on them for a lot. You know, they're only ranked 39th in the state, 4-2 this season. Their coach, Eric Lauer, has been here since 2020. Before that, he was at Marcos Deniza. But they brought in 27 transfers over the offseason, over the summer.
Yeah, and they all had to serve a 5-game suspension.
Yep, and so now that we are getting underway with the rest of the season and these guys are able to kind of come in and help out, things might start to look up for the Pride. And tonight especially, they're really showing what they've got. But even on that last drive, though, the Aztecs never giving up. Even on that 4th and long, they tried everything they had to get that first down.
Here's Clark. And the tackler is Elijah McKay.
Back on one. Show the dogs.
Christian Clark! No! Rodriguez! Past the 20-yard line. Zeke Rodriguez with a big run.
Yeah, the run game really has just been a big key for this team. And Mountain Point has just shown what they can do here.
For this game, they came in with 9 rushing touchdowns and 7 passing touchdowns. Corona had 8 rushing touchdowns and 11 passing. Pride definitely attempts to run the ball more than Corona does. With Clark in the backfield and Rodriguez in the slot. Hand off to Clark with a stiff arm. No gain. Shoemate and Clark at the top of your screen. And Coleman on the bottom. Rodriguez in the backfield. Knorr hands it off. Kedia tried to strip him, but Rodriguez, a gain of 2. As Paul Schultz is going down to the Corona bench, he's going to interview Coach Barrow and maybe his player of the game. Knorr hands off to Rodriguez. Rodriguez nearly got the first down. Oh, looks like they're going to go for the field goal. Orduño, with the clock winding down to the end of the game, they're going to try a last-second field goal, even though they're up 31-13. They could use a timeout, and they do. Are they icing their own kicker? Well, it probably doesn't matter because they're up by so much. It was going to be a good game until Mountain Pointe ran away with it. And it looks like, are they going to go for it now? "15 seconds left in this rivalry showdown." And they will go for it with 15 seconds to go. Rodriguez on the handoff. And that is a touchdown. Zeke Rodriguez, and now we have the light show. That's at least his second touchdown of the game. The kick is good. And now with 7 seconds left on the clock, Mountain Pointe leads 38-13. And now the final kickoff of this game. As now there is nothing the Aztecs can do. They begin regional play with 2 losses. And now all you can do is look to next week, where they play Brophy. The Brophy Broncos are going to be coming on out to Corona del Sol High School. And 2 teams that we cover on the Varsity Sports Show. The Brophy team will be there. And one of the special teamers on Mountain Pointe got a little too excited. Mountain Pointe's next game is against South Pointe, where they attempt to avoid the top recruit in the country, Elijah Rushing, who just decommitted from U of A. And Corona faces Brophy. Not the first time 2 varsity sports teams have faced off, as Jamar Patterson tried to run the clock out, and that is it. That is game over. And that wraps up another exciting night of Friday Night Football on the Varsity Sports Show. Final score tonight is Corona del Sol 13 and Mountain Pointe 38. Thanks to our technical director, Bailey Leisure, and our camera operators, Aaron Decker, Chris Estrada, and Matt Araneta. Remember to tune in to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. for game recaps, coach interviews, and special sports segments from our contributors. Also check out our Twitter @Varsity Show for more content and for the link to Varsity Live before and after the game. I'm Jason Goldie, and on behalf of my color analyst Paul Schultz and myself and everyone at the Varsity Sports Show, thanks for watching and have a great weekend.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.